Another day, another reality show asking stupid questions.
Is love truly blind?
Age-old question.
And in a world where physical appearance is literally everything, what could possibly go wrong on reality television where looks are even more important with people who try to pretend that physical appearance isn't important?
You literally alienated and pissed off every person on this stage.
You guys, I watched every single episode of this show, Love is Blind, so that you don't have to waste 12 hours, 15 minutes, and 21 seconds of your life. These booty cheeks sat in this chair for you to watch people act like a damn fool in front of the camera. So Love is Blind is a reality show where they go to a specific state each season and they acquire about 10 to 15 women, 10 to 15 men, put them all in a building, an obscene amount of gold cups, a lot of fake laughter, and they go on dates with the opposite sex, except they never ever see each other.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you so much.
And the hosts are there every step of the way.
I'm Nick Lachey, and welcome to Love is Blind.
So that is Nick Lachey. If you are a millennial, then you know he's part of 98 Degrees. Yes, he took a break from dancing around to Britney Spears. I do not want to get copyright struck, but all you have to know is that Nick, well, that son of a gun,
Oops, we did it again.
And he also did it again in Love is Blind Season 10, location Ohio, which had one of the biggest villains in reality television history that unanimously everyone hated, but especially the gym girlies. And as someone who considers herself a gym girl, I was so intrigued. Why are so many gym girls pissed off at this guy who came back to the reunion as a villain? Hair slicked back and everything, with the most half-ass apology that I have ever seen.
You know, watching it back was tough.
Wasn't tough for me. I had a great time watching it, and I want you guys to have a great time too. But first, let me just pick this right back up and put this back on because I am cold. So how Love is Blind works is that each gender is going to be in a room which they call pods. And in these pods, they're going on dates, but they never see the other person's face. All they do is ask questions.
Hi.
Is that my wife?
Is that my husband?
They work very fast in this universe. Pretty much because they have to, because in 8 to 10 days, they are going to get engaged to whoever's voice they liked the most.
Your voice is literally like sex operator voice.
He actually did not like that comment at all. The SEX operator voice man was actually Vic, and he is a professor and also a man of God. And didn't really appreciate that comment, made him look a little uncomfortable.
Nah, sex operator.
So yeah, in Dynasty, the marketing manager, that was like the only time that I saw her, ever. Let me give you the main characters that the series actually focuses on. There's Jordan, he's 33.
Definitely a foodie, loves to cook.
And Jordan is extremely lucky because one of the first women he talks to is Amber, the single mom, and they get along amazingly.
Like, I'll talk food all day long.
Then we have Christine, huge football fan.
The Super Bowl house is definitely my fairy tale ending.
She gets to talking to Vic, remember the super Christian guy, and the first thing he asks her,
Are you a Christian?
100%.
honey, the moment she said that, they were done with everybody else and quickly synced up. He literally asks her to marry him in the middle of the second episode.
Of course I will.
Yeah, they do it in between the wall and after they propose. If the other person says yes, they like caress the wall. I mean, come on, you guys, they can't caress the person. There's a wall there. Anyway, I don't mean to be mean, but this is reality TV, and I have to say that Vic and Christine were the most boring couple I've ever seen on TV ever. But they are literally made for each other, as far as I know. As far as the cameras let me see. Like, Vic is always talking numbers and crunching them, which would put me to sleep. But for Christine,
Pretty much a big focus on like data analytics. And
Sounds
the focus
fun.
on-
I think she's turned on. Good for her. Good for them. So they ended up together, obviously, pretty quickly. And you could kind of tell that the producers kind of like shoved them aside, which I'll show you as we get deeper into the episodes. Then we meet Jessica. She is a very well-off woman. She worked extremely hard. She owns her own home. She has a career, but the career seems to hold her back from it because a lot of men seem to be scared of her. How do I say this? Intelligence.
It's unavoidable being a woman in science.
And Jessica ends up connecting with Chris, a 33-year-old account executive, according to his bio, which might be a lie. I'm pretty sure they wrote their own bios because can we just turn to the side and read his really quick? Whether he's crushing an Ironman triathlon or dominating his opponent on the jiu-jitsu mat. We're already starting out with very strong Chris. Chris likes to work up a sweat. This military veteran is looking for someone to match his pace on the treadmill and his positive outlook on life, in quotes. My best habit is being overly optimistic about any situation, he says. That's why Chris truly believes his soulmate is out there and waiting to be discovered in the pods. After his most recent relationship came to an end after 6 years, Chris is still searching for a lasting connection with the emotionally intelligent woman of his dreams. Can we just highlight emotionally intelligent woman really quick? Okay, keep that in your head. If all goes according to plan, okay, villain. Chris's 2 pets, an adopted stray cat named Chalupa and his dog Cookie, will have a new mom in no time, as long as she can put up with his habit of singing to them every morning. And you know who the first thing he brings up in the pods? Yep, Chalupa, his adopted cat.
What's her name?
Chalupa.
I know many people think that, oh, if you adopt, that means you're a good person, but I just have a theory. I think Mr. Chris adopted Miss Chalupa so that he could say, oh yeah, I adopted a cat. You can trust me.
I am such a good person.
So according to Chris, why he's single is because modern dating is kind of skewed. It's all about looks. It's all about your height. It's all about if you have enough muscles. It's all physical. And he doesn't want something physical, and that's why he's here.
Modern dating is, are you hot? Am I hot? Is he maybe a little taller, heavier, more muscles?
And so he really just wants a lasting connection that doesn't have to do with physical appearance. And he really likes Jess, but he also ends up really liking Bree, who's 33.
Chris, I'm Brianna.
And for some reason, right when he meets Bree, he has a little bit of a different personality than when he was talking to Jess. He starts bringing up how he does jiu-jitsu. He likes doing triathlons. He's now seated in a very manly way with his leg crossed over his knee. Chris is just 100% my male.
I love doing like hard shit that like people, nobody else wants to do. They're like, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm gonna do it.
And Chris is going really hard. He says, I do everything, anything crazy. And Bree's like, oh, okay.
He's a lunatic.
And he's like, yeah, girl, I do everything hard. Things that most men won't do, I will do, because I'm a man.
A big man.
And then he starts explaining his whole super manly morning routine to her.
I like have an ice plunge at my place, and I get in every single morning. It's 34 degrees, and I'm like...
So Bree is actually feeling Chris and his cold plunges, but she's also feeling Connor, a 31-year-old account manager. And Connor is a little more laid back than Chris is, and his future vision when it comes to having a wife and kids is a lot more chill. No morning ice bath plunges for him.
Just sitting on a couch, not even speaking to each other, just holding hands, door dashing food.
Honestly, as a gym girl, that sounds 1,000 times better than a morning pool and jumping out of planes, whatever Chris was talking about. Anyway, Bree seems to really be feeling Connor, and they're already talking about their future plans like little middle schoolers that have been dating for about 2 hours.
Can you imagine?
When you say, can you imagine, I'm not even kidding you.
You're like, no, I can't, because I feel like it's gonna happen.
Like, I
like
actually-
putting it in the universe.
I really can't imagine that.
Oh, I love it.
Who will she choose? We don't know, because Connor is also feeling Emma. Emma is 27 and works in retail merchandising, but she has 2 things that she says holds her back from dating. One's visual, one is like a personal goal, but it can be a huge issue when it comes to dating the right person. Literally make or break. So the physical is that she was born with a very distinct birthmark on her arm. And you can kind of see when she's explaining this to the men on the other side, you can tell their faces are just kind of like, ooh.
I was actually born with a birthmark covering my whole arm.
Okay.
So this specific reveal that Emma was telling Steven, who's 32 and works in finance, was absolutely hilarious because Emma goes through this whole spiel. She like throws it all out on the table, being super vulnerable.
But like I do think it's impacted the way people see me on dates, impacted the way like I am perceived.
Expressing how this birthmark really like affected her growing up. People used to make fun of her. People are always staring. Men don't want to really be with her because of her birthmark. You know, it's a huge factor in her life because physically, I mean, she's a gorgeous girl, obviously, but some people will look at her and be like, oh, what is that? And so the tears start to flow in, the voice gets, you know, tight, the nose starts dripping, and freaking Steven, who works in finance, firstly, he asks,
Are you getting sad over there?
dude, duh, of course she's sad. But then he sits back and he's like, girl, hold on, I got this. I'm gonna make you feel so good about yourself. I have something so embarrassing that I have not told anyone. Gonna make you feel good.
You want me to get you out of this funk?
So he's like, I'm gonna literally lift you up as the positive man that I am and make you feel amazing for being born with a whole birthmark on your arm that affected you since you were, well, born. I'm going to share something so deep.
I'll tell you like how far I'm willing to go to share details about my life.
So embarrassing that haunted me since the day it happened.
Ready?
Okay.
You guys want to know what it was? He shares his traumatic experience with his first kiss.
So I went to AMC in 8th grade with this girl, Fallon.
Okay.
We saw a movie. I was so nervous.
I'm gonna jump in here. He ends up kissing her and making out in the movie theater and having a great time. Hold on. The point of the story was all his guy friends kissed girls in like 7th grade, and he waited until 8th grade.
And they'd be like, oh my God, like I just made out with blah, blah, blah behind the park. And I was like, what? Like I felt like I was a really late bloomer.
Steven, how the hell is that on the same level of literally being born with a birthmark that covers her whole arm? He went to even more detail about what an amazing time he had, and at the end, Emma's just laying there like confused.
Cute.
It was very cute.
Anyway, absolutely nobody picked Steven, but Emma was feeling Connor, and honey, Connor was feeling Emma.
Already a winner?
I'm not gonna say it out loud, but like I've already put a star next to your name.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Connor breaks it off with Emma because she's not sure if she wants kids or not, which is her second issue that she has when it comes to dating, because most of the men that she talks to seems to want children, including Mike, who really, really likes Emma. Emma made it clear that she's not sure if she wants children, and he made it clear, no, I think you'll be a great mom.
But I mean, just from you telling me that, I think you'd be a great mother.
All she said to him was that one of the multiple reasons why she doesn't want kids is that she's not sure if her birthmark is passed on to her offspring. That doesn't indicate that someone's gonna be a good parent. That just indicates that they're making a decision. Back to Amber and Jordan though, they're having a great time. Amber just talks, and Jordan, as the foodie he is, he just eats, and listens.
Helping people is pretty amazing, but I'm kind of like you, where I'm a little bit more artsy, a little bit more do-it-yourself type of thing.
And so Jordan ends up proposing, and after they propose, they get to reveal what they look like, and I was a little worried because Miss Amber is a skinny legend, okay? She looks like she's very into her physique. Jordan, on the other hand, doesn't look like he's into his physique and more into the food. I was a little worried about when they met each other because Jordan seems so nice.
He's a big food guy, so.
I hope that she finds me attractive, obviously. Definitely would make a good impression. Hopefully I don't fall or tear my pants when I get down to propose.
But when those doors open, Amber and Jordan were smooching. Next we meet Alex. He's 31. He works in financial sales, but he is an almost pro soccer player who can't shut up about it.
I really locked in on soccer, and that became, my identity growing up.
I think he broke his leg or something, got some kind of injury, and all his friends went off to play soccer without him, went pro, and he works in financial sales now.
But realistically, I will remember this till the day I die.
As you can see, he's holding on to a lot there. A lot of regrets. He's cursing out his leg daily.
Draft day was the worst day of my life because you're supposed to fly out to LA and wear a suit and put the scarf on that the team drafts you in and stand up on the podium and say, thank God for getting here.
So Alex connects really well with only one woman, Ashley, a 34-year-old claims manager, and I tried to find some clips of her just talking about herself, and I couldn't because frickin' Alex kept talking about his soccer career.
I was 23rd overall. 4th knee surgery came through after the team that drafted me said, hey, you're not gonna play. We were just friends because I was good at soccer, not because we're actually friends.
Anyway, they end up together pretty quickly as well, and right when they see each other, Alex is extremely attracted. He says that she's exactly what he is attracted to. Like literally, he can't keep his eyes off of her.
I cannot stop looking at you, holy shit.
Like picture perfect, and they instantly start making out.
What I've been looking for in a wife for a long time.
And of course, Chris can't help but to relate this to soccer.
It's exactly like winning the championship.
Cool, Chris, 100%. It's exactly like winning the championship in soccer. Next we have Brittany. She's a registered nurse and she's 33 years old, and she just has like this fantasy type outlook when it comes to marriage. She literally wants her Disney princess ending.
Love and lots of babies.
And the man who she's telling she wants lots of babies to, who's awkwardly laughing, is Devontae, also known as Devo. He's a 32-year-old loan officer who is trying to find his dream teammate for life. Don't be shocked by a sports metaphor here or there, because Devo spends most of his time watching or talking about basketball, football, or really whatever else is on. If his future partner is willing to put up with his game day obsession, then Devo will cheer her on from the sidelines for life. He is a dedicated man. Keep that in your head. Also, just a little bit of a spoiler, I've never read their bios before. This is the first time as I'm doing this video that I'm reading their bios. And just reading that confuses the hell out of me, someone who has watched this whole series, because through the whole series, Devo is like not expressive at all. He didn't even talk about football. Anyway, he gets down on one knee.
Will you marry me?
And their reveal is probably one of the funniest, because although many men would be very, very excited that they just scored a big booty Latina who wants to take their semen and spread it everywhere, you know, continue their legacy of McDonald's or whatever, Devo is very unexcited because Brittany is a woman of color and he got bamboozled by her very happy cheerleader girl voice.
Did you think I was white?
Yes.
I had no idea.
He's lying to you. That's exactly why he picked you. He thought he was getting the cheerleader of the football team.
You know, that's something I've never actually dated, let alone proposed to and get engaged to.
He's not attracted to you, Brittany. But to be fair, I don't think Brittany's attracted to him either. But I think she wants to get married so bad and have her tons of kids so badly, she just deals with how chunky he is.
What I was expecting was probably a little bit bigger. He's shorter than I thought he would be.
Oh, and how short he is. And unfortunately, Devo was a little wet.
I'm so sorry.
I do have to wonder though, Brittany, girl, how tall do you usually date? Because you are significantly shorter than this man. Ooh, ow. Well, it looks like my pinched nerve is acting up as I've been sitting for hours already. So it looks like we're gonna take a really quick break from our lovebirds. I'm gonna do some stretches and we'll come back and finish this video. And I'm back with a snack, an ice pack, and looser pants. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, Chris and Jess finally meet, and Chris is smitten by her looks. They automatically start making out. This man could not keep his hands off of her, and he kept gushing about how pleased he was with her physically.
To see her physically, it was like, oh my God, man. She's perfect.
Perfection. She's beautiful. She's magnificent.
You're literally stunning. Stunning.
So now they're a happy couple. Everyone is like coupling up pretty quickly and getting on one knee, getting engaged as you do in about 7 days. All very normal stuff. Unfortunately, Emma and Mike are still going back and forth about the kid thing. Something about Mike is that he's Italian, and they talk about it quite a bit, is that he has a big Italian family. His family wants him to have kids. He wants kids. Like everybody has kids in his family. So if he didn't have kids, it would be weird. And I agree, it would be weird if someone who really wants kids kept continuing to talk to someone romantically that isn't sure that they want children and just kind of hopes for the best.
I think she sees how passionate I am about having children.
Every single conversation between Emma and Mike seemed to be the topic about children, and it was so boring and weird at the same time because it felt like he wanted to change her mind really, really bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sway you a little bit.
There was actually this whole 5-minute scene where he just keeps asking like, why don't you want kids? Why don't you want kids? And Emma brings up financial stability. She's not financially stable. She also might not be mentally stable to have a child. She brought up her birthmark. I mean, there was a lot of reasons as to why she didn't want a child. And when she was listening it out, I was like, girl, I don't think you want kids. I think you're just scared to tell him that you for sure don't want children because you either really want to be on the show or you want a boyfriend. And after that whole spiel of pretty legitimate reasons as to why she probably should not have children, he goes, don't worry, you can trust me. I'll probably take most of the work as a dad. Duh.
I'll take the brunt of the work.
And then to follow that up after she says, well, what about, financially? What if we both can't financially take care of a child? He's a sales manager. What if the sales are low that month? And she also works at retail merchandising. What if things are low another month and they have absolutely no money? And he comes up with the best thing ever that is definitely not going to affect either of their families and will always work out because mommy and daddy always have an endless supply of money.
I feel like if there ever was a money issue, which I don't think there would be, but I know that my family would help out.
But what if they don't have any money? The way that if I was on this show and I said this, the way that my mom would probably reach through the screen and slap me because, excuse you, don't expect me to give you money for your decision. You better be able to provide for your family if that's what you want. Anyway, they end up getting engaged because reality TV.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
Yep.
Let's go.
That's right, let's go to Mexico. So now that all the couples are together, they all go to Mexico except for the most boring couple here, Vic and Christine. All the other contestants went to Mexico and these guys got shipped off to Malibu for some reason. I said it was because they're kind of boring, but Google said it's because Love is Blind was trying to cut costs. Anyway, they got no camera crew, so they had to do little vlogs just like on their phone.
Now we get some pizza and some wine. That's
Balance the gym with pizza and wine.
I'm really not trying to be mean. It was just so boring. Give these guys a different script. Producers, please. Yell at each other, something. While Vic and Christine are having a very humble, sweet, and Christian vacation, the other couples in Mexico are getting hot and heavy. And Alex, the soccer guy, can barely contain himself.
Oh my God, you're making it difficult.
Did I make it hard?
Everybody's getting really, really freaky. Jordan, the guy who likes food, also has a little bit of a trouble sleeping quietly. He breathes really heavy and he has a CPAP machine, but that didn't stop Amber from jumping on his groins.
At one point we had to the CPAP on.
Yeah, I had to pull. Yeah, I had to take the CPAP.
Hell yeah, sister, you get it in. Safety first. You have to make sure to breathe during SEX. Brittany and Devon are getting really close as well.
You're a little nurse now.
Except she actually doesn't want to have SEX. She just wants to like hug and stuff. You know, that's it. Which I don't think Devonte has that much of an issue with it. He actually doesn't mind at all. In fact, he prefers not to be touched anywhere.
Every time we kiss, it's because I'm going in for a kiss. Like, I'm grabbing his hand. He still is talking about future stuff. He seems disengaged.
Every night when she wants to cuddle, and when I say cuddle, I mean cuddle, no penetration. Well, I hate that word. But he just rolls over and says, okay, well, good night.
I am getting sleepy. Very, very sleepy.
What a passionate relationship. Well, the next day, the couples all come together and they have a pool party. They end up playing Never Have I Ever.
Never ever had a threesome.
There was a lot of screaming. But the biggest thing that happened about the Never Have I Ever game, and pretty much what stopped the game, was when Brittany throws in,
Never have I ever had sex on a balcony.
and Devontae's fingers aren't moving during the whole game. He still has 5 fingers up.
My man is more pure than me.
And everybody's like, oh, maybe he wants you to give him his first, you know, balcony soiree. Ooh, girl, get it. And then Devontae, while he looks like an inner tube is swallowing him up, just shouts out the most sweetest line ever. That would make a girl feel great.
I don't want to.
Once again, Brittany. He is not attracted to you. So Brittany just runs away. And you know who comes running after her? No, not her fiance, Devontae or Davo. Mother freaking Alex H. You know the guy that's with Ashley who couldn't take his eyes off of how perfect and beautiful she is? And the guy who just f***ed her the day before?
She's got a favorite position for sure. Now that we're on the couch, I might see it again here pretty soon.
Yeah, it turns out he actually doesn't like blonde girls. He's more into dark hair, dark eyes, brown skinned women. And Brittany is a big booty Latina and he cannot help himself. He sprints over to her, leaving Ashley in the dust. And he starts gushing about how perfect Brittany is and how she has all of the features that he's ever wanted in a woman.
I think Brittany is someone I would date before, you know, coming to the pods, without a doubt. I mean, that she has the physical attributes that I find attractive. Tan skin, dark eyes, dark features.
Okay, then why'd you say all that stuff to the blonde chick, Ashley? Whenever I hear guys that say this is like my perfect woman and I want to get married and I want like my perfect wife, but then he's like with a girl that he's clearly not attracted to, or he's just like anything, that literally tells me that you would anything. And seeing how quick he sprinted down those stairs, put some cologne on, put on his shirt, and marched on over to have a personal chat with Miss Brittany, all while he's his fiance, makes me think that he would. And I don't think he's very loyal. Just a little hunch there. Anyway, so he starts talking crap about everyone. His fiance, Ashley.
I will admit, Ash is a different type of person than I would have gone after before.
He starts going on and on about this whole thing. I don't know if we like match up, you know, physically. All while in the pods, they were talking about taking trips to France and planned on meeting the Beckhams.
I just like Posh Spice.
I respect it. They're a good couple for sure.
They're adorable.
We're gonna aspire to be that.
Okay, well, absolutely.
I'm sorry, I have to correct myself. They want to be the Beckhams. I think he needs to actually become a professional soccer player first. But here, completely different.
I'm still trying to figure out and gauge whether the physical matches the emotional.
Sir, you f***ed her. Why did you f*** her if you don't know if the physical meets up with the emotional? I remember in my single days, I was talking to this guy, and I think he got really insecure because I'm more muscular, and he went to the gym once, and then he called me saying,
I'm super sore, like, is this normal?
And I had to explain, like, yeah, you never work out, so of course you're gonna be sore. I thought it was funny the way he was explaining it, and I was like laughing like Eddie Murphy. Anyway, I thought it was funny. I was still attracted to him, but apparently he told the people at work that he told me that he was complaining about being sore, and they all started making fun of him. And then all of a sudden, he would tell me, oh, well, you're too muscular for me. I'm just not attracted to you. But months before that, he tried to kiss me, and I went like this. There's a whole story time on my YouTube about it. I drew him badly. But he was telling his other employees that I look like a man. I was like, honey, then you are gay because you were trying to lock lips with this man. I would be very upset if I was like, oh yeah, let's totally have and he's like, oh yeah, she looks like a man. Honey, you're gay. Anyway, doesn't have a lot to do with this. I just thought I would share that with you. Because why you people be switching it up? You had sex with her, you have to be slightly attracted. Otherwise, you're just someone that just puts your dick into anything. Anyway, he's straight up lying to Brittany because she asks, have you told her that you're not physically attracted to her?
Briefly, but I think it needs to be kind of reset and spoken about a little bit more.
Sir, you are lying. You did not speak about it briefly. You said that you can't take your eyes off of her and that her looks are making it really hard for you not to put your penis into her. So then Brittany also starts talking crap about Devontae and saying he's not my usual type either. And Alex is like, what's your usual type? And he was super excited for her answer.
Tall, athletic.
Girl, you walked right into that one because then Alex starts talking shit about who he calls his boy. And he's like, look, if you stay with this fat, weird-looking dude who's not tall, dark, and handsome like me, you are gonna regret it.
There's a physical aspect to this entire process, and let me rephrase that because I love the dude upstairs.
Just for a little foreshadowing, you guys are going to lose it when we get to the reunion when it comes to Alex. Anyway, so most of the couples through the whole Mexico trip is having a wonderful time. Brittany and Devontae's whole thing is Brittany constantly saying, why don't you touch me, Devontae? And Devontae kind of just sitting there in silence until he finally explains, like, I just don't really want to touch you all the time.
Hugging you at all times of the day or being there, it's like that doesn't mean that doesn't mean I don't care about you.
I'm just not attracted to you because your voice doesn't match your physical appearance. I thought you were white. Come on, we all know that's what it was. And I'm not saying he can't date someone outside of his race. Garrett's white as hell. But like, tell her that you're not attracted instead of having these weird, drawn out conversations as to why you don't want her touching you while the cameraman zooms into your feet rubbing together. I feel like whoever was cameramanning that day had a really interesting thing for feet because they just kept doing it. So after the honeymoon phase comes the real world phase, and all the Love is Blind contestants go into the Love is Blind neighborhood and they all get their own townhomes. And the honeymoon phase is long gone for Devontae and Brittany. I don't even know when they had a honeymoon phase. Maybe in the pods when Devontae still thought she was a white cheerleader that could cheer for him during sex. But yeah, he's still rolling over and going to sleep.
Well, let's get some sleep.
Yeah. So even though the couples get an apartment together in the Love is Blind neighborhood, they also get to show each other their homes. And Jordan, the guy who really likes to eat and the guy who sleeps with the CPAP machine, is the first to go up in his house. Kind of gross. There's super ripe bananas. He didn't really clean his house or clean his fridge before he left, so there's just a crap ton of rotten food in the refrigerator.
That's disgusting.
Connor, who ended up with Bree, still has a Christmas tree up, but the biggest thing for Bree to find in his home was that he had copious amounts of like beer kegs just everywhere.
You're a frat boy, you know that, right?
I'm not a frat boy.
Yes.
The boring couple, Christina and Vic, meet Christina's mom, and she's got some questions.
When am I gonna have a grandbaby?
Which is not rude for them. They really want kids too. And Christine really wants to have a kid before her. I mean, as you can see, mama is a little older and she wants her mom to see her at least pregnant. Christine's mama also is really into Christine's husband.
I thought he was hot.
Those grannies, you gotta watch out for those. Anyway, they then pray together.
So Father God, thank you for bringing us here together.
Alex, the soccer boy, meets Ashley's parents, and her dad also has a lot of questions.
Did you vote for Trump?
Ashley and her family are for Trump, and the dad wants to make sure that Alex is on the right side of history because he will never allow his daughter to date someone who isn't up Trump's booty cheeks.
I didn't vote.
You cop out.
Yeah, so the dad really isn't fond of Alex at all.
I'm not saying he is a bad person. but I don't think honesty is his strength.
When me and Garrett were watching this dinner with Ashley's parents and Alex, even though I don't like Alex, I also don't like Ashley's family, especially her dad. I can't find the clip, but somewhere in the show, he was like, I'm the dictator in my family. Like, he makes all the final decisions. He's just like the guy, the king. And Ashley's mom just sat there in silence while the dad just ranted on. Anyway, he's really, really suspicious about Alex.
I think he answered the questions that I asked him very well. Almost too well.
So things go downhill for this couple pretty quickly. I mean, when you're not attracted to someone and they're living in the house that you're also living in, and you're also having sex with them, might I add, and they're not a big booty Latina, little things that they do is gonna start getting on your nerve. Things like a water bottle.
If I put stuff in the fridge in a way that I feel is neat and it does get rearranged, I feel like I'm
Have I done that
standard.
since the water?
I haven't put anything in the fridge since the water.
And I have to correct myself. Actually, when they came home from Cabo, Alex stopped having sex with Ashley, and she's very, very upset about it because she's very sexually frustrated and she's tired of always initiating sex. But Alex, in his head, he thinks he's doing great.
I feel like I've initiated it enough, especially in Cabo.
Well, the look on Ashley's face is saying she is not satisfied. And so Alex is like, why don't you initiate it then if you really want to like me so much?
Then grab me and push me on the bed and let's go.
You get into bed and you're on your phone.
Well, I'm sure it'll all work out because they're still planning on getting married. Oh wait, I forgot. There's one more thing. Even though this couple, especially Alex, said he wants kids so bad when he was in the pod.
Yes.
I'm here for
You'll be
that.
out there, backwards hat,
Yes.
teaching him a thing or two.
Oh, for sure. The backwards hat will be there.
I'll be just drooling in the kitchen.
That's fine by me.
And he envisioned them going to France or Italy, wherever, somewhere that a lot of women get impressed when guys say, I'm gonna take you on a plane. And they envisioned themselves with children in Italy with the Beckhams, playing soccer. It was really stupid. I couldn't find the clip. But then he decides to tell Ashley after all of that.
And I don't want a kid right now.
Why didn't you make that clear in the pods?
I'm not trying to trap you. I feel like you think I'm trying to trap you.
Emma and Mike, even though they are engaged, are still talking about children. Mike, even though he is now engaged to Emma, is still trying to convince her that she should have children with him. You know, because his friends are having kids and they're doing great.
My best friend, he's having a kid. And they just got married 6 months ago.
What in the hell does that have to do with you though? This is like the age-old question that my mom would always say when I wanted to do what all my friends were doing. If your friends jumped off the cliff, would you? And then I would say, yeah, if it was fun, which is what a lot of people say when it comes to having children. They think it's fun, like all the time. And boy, do they get a rude awakening when they find out it's not fun all the time. There's a lot of poop. Back to Devontae and Brittany. Devontae is meeting Brittany's family, and she is a very, very big family person. She absolutely loves her dad. And you know what? Brittany's dad loves Devontae too.
You will be my son.
But there's this point during their family dinner where he takes Devontae into another room and he's questioning him and questioning him and questioning him and just making sure that the dad is very, very sweet. I wish I had a dad like this. I'm very jealous. But he was just so sweet with one, the family, two, very sweet with this random man that's coming into his house that's, well, I mean, actually not his daughter, but maybe one day after marriage, they will. Anyway, he's so nice, but he just wants to make sure, is this like a genuine thing? Like, you actually really love my daughter after this very short period of time? And Devontae's like, oh yeah, I love your daughter. In fact, I'm so happy with how everything is going.
I'm glad to be here and it feels normal.
Emma meets Mike's family, who once again is Italian, and they instantly have a question for her.
Your past boyfriends, were they like Italian?
And Emma was like, oh yeah, I dated an Italian guy once. And they say, okay, follow-up question. So how was you and your uterus? And I think you know, I know, and Emma knows with how her face is set up, what question is coming.
Have you guys discussed grandchildren and stuff like that?
Yeah. And then we get to Jess and Chris. Remember the guy who said that his new future wife is literally perfection.
To see her physically, it was like, oh my God, man. She's perfect. It was the best moment of my entire life.
Anyway, Jess comes home to Chris trying to escape through a window. Where was he going? He should have just kept climbing out the damn window, because what came next was just like, dude, what are you doing, Chris? So we find out the honeymoon phase is definitely over for these guys, because Chris hasn't been home at all. He's been getting drunk with his boys almost every single night, and he really hates this thing called communication.
Like, I don't need to be in constant communication.
Then why did you sign up on a show where you get married? Because spoiler, being married means you have to communicate constantly to make it work.
Nor do I. No, but I'm your fiance.
I understand.
So Chris is doing that super manly and very mentally stable and mature thing that people do, where they just ignore their significant other and wait until the significant other asks them what's wrong, instead of just going up to them and saying, hey, this is what I've been feeling. And so she asks what's wrong, and he pretty much just blurts out,
Do you think we have a good physical connection?
I do.
oh girl, well that's very one-sided, because then Chris is like, shoot, she's attracted to me? How do I say this to her? I think you're ugly and fat.
I'm trying to like pick my words carefully. I date people who like fucking do like fucking CrossFit and shit.
And this pretty much had all the CrossFit girls, weightlifter type chicks, because he kind of gave off the idea that, like, I date women that are ripped, shredded, like muscular, active, fitness, you know, on the same level as me. But then in the same breath, he says,
Somebody who does fucking like Pilates every day, or like,
and that's kind of like a large generalization, right? Someone muscular obviously can do Pilates, and someone who does Pilates can look like they do CrossFit. But we know visually he's saying that I date super muscular women, or like girls who do Pilates. Like, pretty much, I'm fit, I need someone else that is on the same level as me. So this had everybody going to his profile and kind of looking at his body. And since I'm a fitness girl too, I did as well. And the first thing I said was what everybody said. You're this like masculine, ripped dude? I mean, he looks like a gumball. Like, he looks like a cartoon that morphed into a human, and he's trying to be normal.
I took your advice. From now on, I'm normal.
Not some jacked, ripped, alpha male type guy. Like, he looks like he would do my taxes and then go to Burger King and chill at home and watch Netflix. So all these people went to his profile, and I don't know if he got insecure, if he did this already before the show or like this clip aired, but they went to his profile, and the profile pic. These look a little different, right? Apparently people are saying it's an AI image. I'm not against using AI. I don't flip out when I see it. I feel like our robot overlords are here to take over the whole world. I'm just gonna hope that they're like WALL-E, but I am against whatever this is. Actually, I'm not. It's pretty funny. If you wanna go on a reality television show where we all know what you look like and then make your profile picture look like this for some reason, by all means, it makes it easier to make fun of you. So this is the image what Chris sees in his head when he's telling some chick who literally looks like she does Pilates that her body's not good enough for him, even though he f***ed her. I'm not understanding this from the dudes, except for Davon. He did not f*** Brittany. He seemed pretty disgusted by her. So at least Davon has that, where he's not having sex with a woman that he's not attracted to. So Chris keeps going on and on and on about how he doesn't really want to be mean and he doesn't want to hurt her feelings, but he explains, like, you know, when I'm you, I just, you know, as I do when I'm having sex with a woman that I'm just not attracted to, but for some reason I'm still her. I just can't seem to really get into it while I'm having sex with you because I'm looking at your body. Cause you know, I'm used to dating really, really hot chicks with really, really rock hard, solid, and athletic bodies. I'm just so fit, and that's usually what is attracted to me. You know, just women that are on the same level as I am.
Someone who's like working out every day. In those situations, it's hard for me to be like physically, like when we're in that moment, like into it.
You know what? Since I am considered a gym girl and we're talking about people's bodies and examining them, honestly, as someone who has done CrossFit workouts, has a lot of CrossFit friends, and quite frankly, I kind of just know the CrossFit community a little bit. When CrossFit left this man's mouth, I said, huh? Really? You? All right.
I love doing like hard shit.
Not that you have to have a special physique to look like you do CrossFit, but we all know Chris is talking about the visual of it, right? You can be a bodybuilder and still be fat. All you have to do is just say that you're a bodybuilder, honestly. You can pay to walk on stage while fat. You probably won't get a trophy, but technically you're still a bodybuilder.
I have seen this woman's picture go viral, and apparently she's been competing for years now.
But let's be completely honest, Chris is talking about how he gets the CrossFit girls, you know, the ones with shoulder caps, abs, super tight glutes that he probably wants them to flap in his face. So for him to be super just critical about Jess's body, it just tickled my tits a lot. Because Chris, let me take off my jacket for this again. I'm getting really hot now. Chris looks like he does cardio sometimes, like a semi-daily walk, like a stroll with his dog, a small dog, like my smallest dog that I have, Rigby. He's 3 pounds. Gym girls, join in. Chris, he looks like if he did lift weights, he would work out like the awkward old man that follows the gym girls around, goes up to them, asks them to take out their earphones so they can say something stupid, and then the gym girl look at them like this, and then she finds a new gym so she never has to see him again. Chris looks like if he did work out, he would work out like the guy who plays Marty Bird, who's now in that new show on Hulu, DTF, who rides a recumbent bike down in the suburbs.
Thunderstruck, take a break, shake the bacon off your sandwich. We're doing 2 steps at a time on the staircase, kid.
Just let me warn any of the guys that are similar to Chris. A gym girl would ruin you. You wouldn't be able to keep up in the bedroom and outside the bedroom, and especially in the gym.
Died like last men visit Amazonia?
What'd they die of?
Crushed pelvises.
And this goofy goober, Chris, went from I'm so tired of modern dating being all about looks and how much muscle someone has, to I only date fit women and not sloppy fat girls like you. You know, girls who do marathons. Anyway, come to find out, this fool hasn't done a damn half marathon for 4 years and finished at the bottom 5%, which means this picture on his Instagram is old. So he's like those athletes who weren't that great, but also think that they still look like they did in their prime. Anyway, so these guys break up. He ends up telling Jess that you were actually my number 2 pick and my first pick was Bree, the one that got away. In fact, he met up with Bree so he could reveal his true feelings for her.
Because I feel like the emotional connection was like there. Why didn't you say this stuff in Cabo?
And as someone who watched every single episode, I don't think Bree mentioned that she did CrossFit either. Personally, Jess, if there's a chance that you're watching, I think you could have been a CrossFit girl and he would have said that he wants someone that's not a CrossFit girl. But anyway, let's go with it. As you can see, Chris is actually talking to Bree because Love is Blind producers put together a little shindig that all the couples come together and chit chat, and he decided to take Bree aside to have a solo talk with her. In the whole conversation, Chris is trying to tell her you should leave Connor for a real man, an alpha man like me, because Chris can provide a better life.
Are you like attracted to me? I would take you. The 4 seasons. Like stay in there.
4 seasons? How expensive is it at the 4 seasons? Let's look it up. $500 to $2,000 per night. Chris, don't say that to a Disney adult that stays on Disneyland property in their hotel room. Ladies, this is a great reminder for you to have your own money. So some odd man called Chris, who thinks he looks like this generated image from ChatGPT, can't hold over a 4 seasons hotel room over your head like a carrot stick. You make your own money so you can afford your own hotel room, so odd, creepy men like Chris, who comes up to you at a bar, you can get real close to his face and say, please get ran over by a Mack truck and never talk to me again. Because what is the hotel room gonna be good for her? All he's going to want to do is f her. That's it. Be as mean as possible. Unlike Bree, who stood there for way too long entertaining this weirdo. As Chris sticks out his tongue, he's taking his hand and touching hers, and he starts to lean back and deepen his voice a little bit and say, look girl, if you come with me, a real man, you can make magic happen. You know, something actually amazing in the 4 seasons hotel room.
Have a good time.
Yeah, it's just
Guaranteed. I felt like we would have been like fuck buddies. I saw your Instagram and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I sent you that message, but you're like, you never responded back, so I was like...
Well, I'm in a relationship.
Anyway, everybody is extremely uncomfortable, the women, the men, me, because they actually really like Jess, and so Jess told them that they broke up, and as to why they broke up, because she doesn't have a Pilates body or a CrossFit body. And so word got around that he has this weird alpha male rhetoric that he always likes to talk about, and he decided to let it come out of his mouth at the bar.
Oh,
Apparently, like, I'm Andrew Tate, apparently.
So yeah, after you started talking about Andrew Tate, the girls were just like, all right, so we're done with this one.
Oh, I don't know that person.
Okay, all right, whatever.
Yeah, Chris, because it might be kind of cool if you're a 13-year-old boy talking about Andrew Tate to your other 13-year-old boys, and your mom hasn't hit you upside your head yet. Hopefully your dad too.
You need to get smacked.
But you're a 30-something-year-old man. Most 30-something-year-old women would absolutely never deal with that, and that's why these alpha male weirdo podcast bros say you guys should date 18-year-olds. Ladies, they don't think that you're mature for your age. They think you're dumb. So, in the words of a podcast bro who can't read the room, Chris continues to stay, and then once every other girl doesn't want to talk to him, he decides to try with Jess. Again, the woman that he said he gets grossed out when they have sex together.
It's like crazy to see.
You look good though.
Oh my God. What a sad, weird little AI man. Anyway, we get to episode 11. It's extremely boring. All they do is like look at wedding dresses. Alex, the soccer guy, kept on telling everyone how he's gonna make a lot of money, especially in Dubai.
I see myself living in Florida with a phenomenal house, potential trust in Dubai, and a safe house in Queenstown, New Zealand.
He also did not mention Ashley or children or her weird dad visiting at least 2 to 3 times a year. At all. Anyway, time for the wedding. First up, Emma and Mike. Time to say I do, lovers.
I'm not ready to say I do.
Oh, yeah. He really wanted kids, so he was like, we can't get married, which is very smart. If you want kids and the person you're talking to most likely doesn't, what are you doing? Jordan and Amber, you are up next in the CPAP machine during SCX workout. Enough for you to get down the aisle.
I do.
I do.
All right, and they're good to go. Devontae and Brittany, well, these two lovebirds didn't even make it down the aisle. They're still in the Love is Blind townhouse on the couch with Devontae's very monotone and depressed voice.
I just can't do it.
Why did you wait for this specific moment to tell her you can't do it though? I could tell through the whole season that he wasn't into this chick. She's not white. If he doesn't like women of color, he doesn't like women of color. Move on. Anyway, I guess he finally did, kind of. Because I guess he continued to give her hope.
We're not saying no to each other. We're just saying not right now.
Girl, I think this is his way of saying no. He's just not able to communicate his feelings like an adult male should. Anyway, back to soccer guy Alex and Ashley. It's their wedding day and Alex can't stop relating his wedding to, you guessed it, soccer.
Are you nervous to walk down the wedding aisle?
You played Division I soccer, you know what I'm talking about. You walk out, like, the crowd's there.
In front of 5,000 people.
You're used to that.
I have to say, when I saw all of Alex's sports bros, I immediately said, yep, that's exactly who I would think physically who he would hang out with. They all seem to have the same hair, same similar suits, just same stature. I don't care what any of you guys say if I'm like judging them or anything. That is a room full of red flags. Anyway, after Alex's bros called him really sexy in his wedding attire, he continued to talk about soccer. Like, that's all he talked about. That's it. No mention of the future with Ashley, future with kids, being excited for what's gonna come with Ashley. It was literally just soccer.
There's no pressure on the goalkeeper ever because they're supposed to score.
Anyway, he ends up saying, yeah, I'll marry Ashley.
I deserve so much better. So I am so sorry, but it is a no for me today.
I waited, what is it? 10 hours, 4 minutes, and 38 seconds for that face. He was so mad. I cut it out, but something with their storyline is that he would say a lot of words without saying anything, and Ashley was getting a little suspicious when she would ask him about his past relationships and all of his travels, because if you are not in the sports world, sports guys that travel, it's a boys club. They have the safe girl at home, and then when they're off doing their sports shit, they're f***ing anything with at least one arm, one leg, and at least one boob. You wanna get in bed with a sports guy, that's like all you need. And if someone in the audience is trying to tell me I'm wrong, you're part of the boys crew. I grew up in a football family. I know how it is. I ain't stupid. Anyway, Alex is one of the worst type of sports guys because he's not even pro. So if you marry him, you're not gonna get anything. He's broke. So anyway, this whole storyline was Ashley being so suspicious about his traveling, his storylines when she would ask about one ex-girlfriend and the other ex-girlfriend. Him breaking up with one of the girlfriends didn't add up and it seemed like he was a cheater. So during the wedding, she had like a 2-minute speech and she brought up integrity, which he did not like at all.
I do
disagree to an extent about the integrity.
Okay, I don't know why you would agree with Ashley on your lack of integrity. Why would he say, yeah, you know what, Ashley, you're totally right. Come on. Also, I'm not too sure why the integrity comment really hurt his feelings, because does he not remember sprinting on over to Brittany, the big booty Latina, the moment she was by herself? Anyway, after Ashley leaves and goes parties with her girlfriends, Alex and all his bros hug a lot.
Did you voice?
I got you, bro. I got you.
Dang it, man, you didn't get away with it this time. You should have lied harder. Come on, Alex is a red flag, right? I didn't even show you guys the parts of all of his weird speeches about how he travels and the ex-girlfriend and him trying to piece everything together. Even without that, red flag. Guys that talk about, I'm gonna make so much money, is a red flag in itself. Anyway, he made a big speech about his integrity is intact. Actually, it's like higher than normal and he's fine and everything happens for a reason.
I'm exactly where I should be, standing where I needed to be, very confident.
And after his speech, his number one bro turns and looks at him deep in the eye and says,
You're a great person and a great man.
Appreciate
You're
you,
gonna
bro.
be a great husband.
I'm not hinting at anything here. I'm just saying that some bros, you know, some bro boys love their bros more than women. And they have more fun with their bros more than they do with the women that they want to have sex with. That's all. I have girlfriends that have way more fun with the ladies. I don't know why it's so bad for guys to admit that. Anyway, obviously Christine and Vic, the Christian, like super boring couple, get married. Duh.
We gotta merge into families. We got a tribe now. Yeah. With my wife.
Let me just say, they're really cute. They're probably the only couple that I think is kind of real or got along really well. They are just so boring. They are not meant for reality TV. They're like too normal. Bree and Connor, yeah, they didn't get married, but they're still together. They just didn't want to get married because it's only been like a month and a half. Smart decision. And now time for the reunion, where all the couples come back together and we find out who's with who. So the reunion opens up with Devontae looking as depressed and unamused like normal. Chris actually does show up looking like a straight up villain. Hair slicked back, dark suit. It really fit the whole theme of him trying to pick up a almost married woman and taking her to the 4th season. Freak. So Nick hopped right into it just like he hopped right into singing Britney Spears.
Oops, we did it again.
And we find out that Amber and Jordan, well, the CPAP machine, it didn't keep them together.
It's really difficult to trust somebody when they are only coming up on the weekends, or I'm going down there and they want to be at home in Columbus like 5-6 nights a week instead of like moving in. You wonder, like, why wouldn't you want to be at home with your wife?
So I don't want to make it look like I'm putting this all on him, like he's a bad guy. Honestly, I got great vibes from Jordan. She did seem to make it look like it was all his fault. She kept saying, well, I have a kid and you didn't even say bye to her. And she's confused on this. And he did kind of say bye, but like he didn't want to drive back and like talk to this little girl and be like, just so you know,
Me and your mommy are breaking up.
they were only together for a couple months. All in all, listening to their banter, it seemed like he wasn't ready to be a stepdad and she really wasn't ready to let go of all the past anger she has toward the men that wronged her. And Jordan reveals that she seems like she has a little bit of a drinking problem, to the point that she would get super drunk and yell at him in front of everyone at his friend's wedding.
You showed up, missed the whole ceremony, got blacked out in the first 30 minutes, fell asleep at the table, and then cussed me out in the lobby. And I was the best man at the wedding. Like, that's fucking humiliating.
I remember in the beginning when I was like, I wonder if the appearance is going to kind of be an issue for this couple, because she seems like she really like takes care of herself. She likes to get ready, put on like perfume and brush her teeth and stuff, and he's kind of just super laid back. And it looks like there's a little bit of resentment there.
I felt like you wanted to stay in Columbus in your condo, do whatever you wanted, but have a wife that shows up on a Saturday, primed and ready to go, who just worked all week, who just took care of her kid, who just did all these things. I need to show up and be on point like that and be funny and caring for you and all these other things.
So yeah, it didn't work out. They kept going back and forth until Amber just decided to lose it. And it was a little awkward.
Fucking come in somebody's life if you're gonna do that. I told you.
The room was literally silent. People kept looking around from side to side. They were awkward. And they kind of just watched her walk away as her heels click-clacked on the stage floor. So next couple, I guess. Let's get to the main reason we're all here, right? The Chris, The Jess, the Connor, the Bree. So Nick, the host, the one that sang Britney Spears, part of 98 Degrees, right? He leans over and he's like, Connor, let's play the clip of Chris talking shit about you to your fiance. So they play the clip and everything, and then he leans over, he's like, so, what do you think about that, huh? Want to tell him anything? Tell us your deep and darkest thoughts that you want to say to Chris.
He doesn't even cross my mind ever, so it's cool.
Absolute great answer. Give them absolutely nothing. Because you know they're gonna try to blow it up. So when Nick saw that he couldn't get anything out of Connor, you know, that juicy moment they could use for the promotion of the reunion, he was like, dang it, I gotta make something intense happen. So he turned to Chris himself and decides to take this whole thing super personal and say, you know what? You angered me.
You literally alienated and pissed off every person on this stage. And watching it back for Vanessa and I was absolutely brutal. We had to walk away from the television a few times.
Nick, no you didn't. You know your 98-degree booty cheeks was watching the TV, rubbed your hands together with your wife, who's also part of the show, and said, oh my God, this is gonna make great television. And then you guys started probably making out and doing things in your bedroom. And then after you came up for air, you said, love isn't blind, you idiot. It's all for my show. I think that's exactly how it went. Anyway, Chris apologizes to everyone with his weird slicked back hair.
I'm sorry I disrespected you. I want to be accountable for what I did and what I said, and putting Bree in that situation as well.
The room went silent. People are just kind of confused as to why did this fool show up? I can't have everything in here, but there was some odd stuff going on with his TikTok and his Instagram, and he was sliding into a lot of women's DMs saying certain things, so people were just kind of like, why are you here?
I want to give, you asked her a question about, do you feel like you gave Chris a little bit of time? I feel like I put her in that situation and was just way too maybe aggressive in that moment.
Hello, editing Michelle here really quick. I feel like Chris was trying to still be that alpha male dude right here being like, oh, it was all my fault. I had so much control over Bree. When I just wanted to say, Bree could have walked her booty cheeks away at any time. And I feel like I wish I talked about Bree a little bit more, but honestly, her and Connor were also a little bit boring, but she kind of had some alpha, like male or female, I'm not too sure what to call it, but she kind of seemed pretty intrigued by the alpha maleness of this guy. But then in the end, she was kind of like, oh, he's freaking weird. But she's not all that great either. I took it out, but there was like a small segment when they were on vacation when she turned to Connor and said, I just wish, I wish I could talk to the other guys that I've had, a little bit of a connection with, don't you want to talk to the other people you had a connection with, Connor? And Connor was like, no, because I chose you. But that was she's a whole ass red flag to me. It was all just really boring. But anyway, I went to Connor's profile and Bree was on here before, and I ain't seeing Bree on here no more. There's Jess. I see her. I see the guy that eats a lot of food, but I'm not seeing Bree. So I think they broke up. Jess then enters the chat and they're asking her, why do you think he was doing all this? And she pretty much says, because she works in science, she was like, it's pretty obvious that he's insecure. And he uses this alpha male whatever rhetoric to help him look more like a man.
While there was this huge bravado and dominance and alpha shit when he had a different audience, that was never shown to me. I was never spoken to like that, I think because that person knew that I wouldn't really tolerate it or buy into it. And after Jess's whole thing about how everything changed once they got home and she showed him her house and how well off she is, he started getting weird. He started hanging out the window like we saw him with his sunglasses on inside and being super standoffish. And after she explained all of that and how he seemed insecure about her finances, he had to say one more thing before they moved on from Chris. He had to make sure to clarify that it was not because of the money and had absolutely nothing to do with her being more successful than him, even though he watches Andrew Tate, who helps men become successful.
That had nothing to do with the decision I made.
Yeah, sure, Chris. Hey, editing Michelle here again, and I found the ex-girlfriend, and y'all, she talks about Chris and pins all three of them right in the beginning of her profile. So here's the first one.
Do you guys ever wonder how love can turn into cruelty? Well, this is how my relationship started with Chris. So happy, so in love. Just look at us, so cute. And this is how it ended.
Yeah, that's great. You're going to meet somebody. I hope they're rich. I hope they're a doctor, and I hope they make a lot of money, because that's your only hope in life, I'll be honest with you.
And then here's the second one where she talks about how he lies about his height and he's actually extremely short, all the way to his bathroom being nasty.
All right, guys, let me introduce you to my ex-boyfriend, Chris. He claims he's 5'8", but I'm not here to argue with delusions. Are you in the market for a short white guy who's a walking red flag and thinks he's God's gift because he owns 2 pairs of designer sneakers? Then step right up, because Chris is your man. Features include horrendous communication skills, will ghost you mid-sentence and reappear like nothing happened. Claims he's so financially stable while being $60,000 deep in credit card debt. Sued by 2 different credit card companies. Bathroom untouched by cleaning products for 6+ months. Biohazard cheek. Constantly talks about how successful he is while living in pure chaos. Gives bare minimum energy wrapped in overconfidence. Perfect for anyone seeking emotional whiplash, financial delusion, and a mild case of mold exposure. P.S. Don't go on a trip with him, because he will not pay for his half. We'll split it as a concept, not a promise. Serious inquiries only, ladies. He'll love bomb you and then vanish faster than your ex list.
And then the third one, she just wants to make sure that everybody knows that he, in fact, does not have any money. And that's probably why he talks about it so much.
Are you tired of a man who's responsible, financially stable, and emotionally regulated? Well, buckle up. Meet Chris. You think you're getting a man? No. You're getting a man and his cat. And not in a cute, aw, he loves animals way. In a, the cat has seniority in this relationship way. You're not the girlfriend. You're the emotional support human. But wait, there's more. This man doesn't pay parking tickets. Not because he forgot, because he believes in manifesting them away. And if that's not enough, 1 year he just didn't pay taxes. Why? Because he didn't feel like it. Sir, that's not how the IRS works. That's how a toddler works. And it gets better. This is the same man who casually talks shit about poor people, dissect their choices, judge their lives. Meanwhile, admitting to be $380,000 in consumer debt. He didn't pay for that apartment. His mommy did.
So I'm just gonna guess that he actually can't afford that hotel room at the Four Seasons. Anyway, Jess is doing just fine. She ended up dating one of the other men from the show who is also a doctor. And he is someone that was able to communicate with Jess as an adult male, or just any adult should.
He's a man, and he was like, look, I know who I am and I know what I want, and it's you.
And this man who was in the crowd, like, he kept shouting stuff from the crowd because of how in love with her he is. Like, he literally could not shut up about how obsessed he is.
I love you, Jess.
I love you.
And that's like, that word's not enough.
It was a very emotional time. For some reason, like, the whole crowd was crying. I'm trying to figure out if that was real or if that was, they told them to do it and they all gave them little eye drops so they could look like they were crying. I'm not too sure, but people were crying about it. Anyway, that was the section that I was looking the most forward to. I was also looking forward to them playing the clip of Alex, the soccer guy, and being upset that Ashley said that he had no integrity, all while they played the clip of him sprinting over to Brittany and talking to his dream big booty Latina. But they never played it at all. Stupid Nick Lachey made it such a big deal about being honest and faithful when it came to Chris, but said absolutely nothing to Alex and him sprinting over to Brittany and him not being able to control himself around a big booty Latina. Literally, the first one he sees, he's like, and then he's upset that his future wife doesn't trust him. They never brought any of that up. The only thing that they told us about was that Alex and Devontae are now roommates and they play soccer together.
See how many goals I can score out of 10 on them.
I said it too.
That is literally the most animated we have seen Devontae this whole season.
Yes! I love it.
We also find out that Devontae is getting married.
You know, one of the things that I talked about during this was I wanted to go into this to be a husband and a father. Those were two of the most important things for me.
And, well, I will let him tell you and Brittany.
And you know, I got some exciting news that I am gonna be a father this year.
Well, he moved on quickly, and the crowd, once he said that, everybody was like, boom, staring at Brittany. But don't worry, she's fine. She clarified it.
Brittany, I'm assuming you're hearing this for the first time like we are?
It's okay. I'm not fazed by it.
And well, that was every single episode of season 10 Love is Blind, Ohio. Or at least the parts that I cared about and thought were important enough to tell you about. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want another reality show that I watched every single episode on so that you don't have to waste about 14 hours of your time, what if I told you there's a show where a bunch of influencers are so tired of the modern world, they want tradition, they want no makeup, they want no electricity. So then they decide to become Amish. Hit the preview.
I'm so used to living a certain way that I'm coming here and it's completely different.
You don't feel like you owe all of us an apology for how you both acted?
Giving like mean girl energy, psycho, like gaslighting situation.
I will link that right here and right down below in the pinned comment to make it very easy for you to come hang out with me, some influencers attempting to be Amish. Come hang out and watch me break down 17 hours of reality TV into a 40-minute video so you don't aggravate your pinched nerve like I do. So that's all for me. I'm gonna go ice some more. Bye. Stay away from men like Chris. See you next time.
I'm a gym girly, love lifted heavy, doing all the curling. I live for the pump, my biceps looking plump. I'm a gym girl.